Hello, YouTube world. This is Johnny Mo coming to you today with a new vlog series. We're going to continue to call the series Solo and Proud. This is episode 3. That's how we're going to continue because this is a solo guy talking about solo things. So this channel today is going to be dedicated to the timeline. A lot of people are asking right now, what should I be doing right now? Where should I be going? How should I be doing it? Well, today I want to give you a timeline. As you've known, I've stated this in many videos before this, is the game is about to start. Right now, it's the pre-game meeting. And if you're a coach, you know what it's like on game day. You know what it's like leading up to game day, all the preparation. As you know, some of you know that I'm a basketball coach. I coached 4 different teams this year. What a great year I've had. 2 of those teams won championships. The other 2 have had a good year, a solid year, have made progressions from last year, and we're going to continue to make progressions. But those progressions do not happen during the year. Those progressions happen before the season starts. The dribbling, the shooting, the practicing, all the little things that go into making a good basketball team. Everything that you can take from the basketball court can be established in business. First of all, you got to understand the rules of the game. Here, and probably most of the Midwest, and I would say the Northeast, this does not count for south of the border, probably North Carolina on down. Maybe in Maryland, maybe not. Maryland's an iffy. They can get snow. They might not get snow. Their season might extend it a little bit longer, might start a little earlier. So you have to tailor this plan that I'm about to establish to you to your area. But here in the Midwest, in the Northeast, which I'm from, I'm right on the border of the Midwest. The Midwest is just 10 minutes, west of me. I'm on the border of the Northeast, so we definitely have 4 different distinct seasons. And what I want to do is I want to break down the game to you. I want to break down what you should be thinking about right now. You should be getting your equipment ready right now. You should be getting your marketing ready right now. You should be getting your numbers ready right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to establish some dates and things that you should have done in those date realms. Number 1, knowing your numbers. This whole date plan thing does not matter if you do not know how much you need to make to get through the winter or to get through your slow time. If you don't know that, if you don't know how much money it takes to run You Inc., and what I mean by You Inc., it's not your business, it's you. How much is your rent? How much is your car payment? How much is your water bill? How much is your gas bill? How much is your electric bill? How much is your bills? And that includes the business bills, because inevitably, you're probably a sole proprietor and you're probably running this out of your house, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I need to know, and you need to know right now, on February 21st or 22nd, you need to know how much it takes to run You Inc. And when you understand how much it takes to run You Inc., your business will run smoother because you'll have a direction to go to. If you don't know what it takes and you're just shooting a shotgun, sometimes you hit the mark, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you kill the animal, sometimes you don't. Because in a shotgun, what happens is you have BBs and it just blasts out. And sometimes the BBs aren't enough to take down what you're trying to take down. Sometimes you need a 30-06 in direction, some real fine tuning of that scope, and boom, you hit your mark. Sometimes, a lot of people run the shotgun approach to their business and they get by for years. Hey, I hit what I needed to hit. Yeah, but did you take it down precisely? Sometimes you get a shotgun, you hit a deer, and you hit it, but it doesn't take it down. It wounds it, but it doesn't take it down. Then you're tracking, and it takes a lot longer. But maybe if you had that 30-06 and you fine-tune that scope and hit it right between the shoulder, but boom, right through the heart of the lungs, the deer drops instantly and it's over. Or you could take your shotgun, boom, boom, and hopefully you hit it. Hopefully you can track it and finally kill it. Or maybe it got miles away and died somewhere else, and you have no idea. You have no idea if you killed the deer or not. And that's how most people run their business. They have no idea if they made money or they didn't make money. It's the most important aspect of the business. So right now, what you should be doing is digging a list of every single bill you have. Get in your checking account. Go through your register. How much money did I spend on gas last year? You can break it down monthly. Okay, in June, I spent this much money. So I could take last June and pretty much put it into this June and say, hey, this is my monthly budget for fuel. I need to know that. What did I spend last December on Christmas? I need to know that. Christmas is coming. It's not like you're not going to buy anybody any gift. I ain't getting no one anything this year. But what I'm telling you is you got to know your numbers. And knowing your numbers is the responsibility of a business owner. And don't think that you're no different than Lowe's. You don't think Lowe's has budgetary meetings and line items? They have a sales goal every month. What's that sales goal based on? What they need to make, what they did last year, and what's coming in and what's going out. There's all kinds of things to deal with your mowing. It's you Inc. It's Johnny Inc. It's not Johnny's mowing. It's how much do I need to make? Like his cable bill. I got a cable bill. How much is that cable's bill? It's $225 a month. Oh, I got to make sure I make enough money for that. It's not just about supplying enough for the business. It's about supplying enough for your life. Because if you're not going to supply enough for your life, what's the sense of doing it? Now that we have that established, you know I like to consider this a 4-period or 4-quarter game. The game starts in April. April, May is the first quarter. June, July is the second quarter. August, September is the third quarter. October, November is the fourth quarter. Anything that happens after those 4 quarters, because honestly, the bulk of your work, unless you're dedicated to snow removal and that's all you do, the bulk of your money will come in that little segment. That 8-month segment, that's where all that money's coming in. So there's some dates in there that you really want to set. You know, I have a goal when I coach basketball, and I look back and I look and say, okay, we need to hold this team to this so many points. And we need to get this many points. If we can do that, by the 4th period, we've won the game. There's just no way they can come back. It's better to have the game won in the 4th period than it is to try, oh, it's exciting to pull it out the last minute. Obviously it is. But it's harder. It's a lot harder to beat a team in the 4th period after it's been close the whole game. Someone's going to get tired. And there are times where you pull it out. And there's times in years that happens where drought happens and you barely meet your financial goals. You barely get there, but you pull it out in the very end. And there's years where you have good years that you don't pull it out. And it's because you don't have a system of way of doing things. So in the first quarter, this is what I say. By Memorial Day, that's the end of the first quarter. You want to have a nice pile of money. You want to have done a lot of work. What's happening in this quarter is you're catching up from all the bills. So what happens? You do all this work in April, and then you bill out in May. Is generally how I do it. I know some people have prepayments and all that. I don't do that. Never have. 21 years. I think it's not a big deal. So in April, you have this little stretch of stuff that you got to get caught up on because you bought gas. You got to do this. You spent a lot of money. So April's now coming in. You're probably not putting a lot of money away in April, but all of a sudden you do a lot of work in May before Memorial Day. There's a lot of work, and then after that you start hammering that goal because by Labor Day you want to have all of your winter money away. Your first goal is to get the winter money, but you have to have a strong first quarter. There's a lot of work that'll get done by Memorial Day. The second push is by July 4th. That's another month. So you're hammering. You should have all your first trimmings done. You should have all the mulching done that's required by the 4th of July. After the 4th of July, people stop calling for mulch or they don't really want mulch. So that's not a very good time for you to bypass a mulch job because you think, oh, I'll just get it after the 4th. Generally, people are like, screw it. Summer's halfway over. It's almost over. Forget it. A lot of your work will be done from the first and second quarter. There's a big bulk of money that's going to be there. Not to say there's not anything you can sell afterwards. I'm just saying by the 4th of July is when people start to lose interest a little bit. So you got to get a lot of work done in that time frame. Now, by the 4th of July, having all that money, what's going to happen is the weather's going to turn a little bit. It's going to get a little bit dry. So in July and August, you might have some downtime. You might have a little bit of a drought. So all that money might be used to help supplement what you need to make it budget-wise in July and August. Now, this is 21 years of experience. July and August are generally the hottest months of summer. By June 15th, by June 19th, that sun is pounding. That grass sometimes dries out. You have to remember that. because you're going to need all that great money you made. Don't spend it all. Don't buy a bunch of new equipment because you might need to supplement yourself for 2 months. The next date that's very important happens in the third quarter, and that is Labor Day. By Labor Day, you want to have all your winter money all the way till next June. That way there's no issues. You're good. You're making money. You're not worried about, did I do enough work in April to extend it, because April's money doesn't come in until about May 15th and you're struggling. So have all your bills paid to June 1st. That way you know that you have enough money. You do not have to worry about startup funds. You don't have to worry about anything. By Labor Day, I want all my money in the bank for next June, and then everything else from there, it's cake. You won the game. You don't have to worry about the fourth quarter. I'm not saying take the fourth quarter off. I'm just saying that you know that you won the game. Now, if you want to buy pieces of equipment, you're like, how can I save money? Well, if you got your winter money, everything else on top of that is all profit now. It's all, hey, we got winter money. You can spend the next, from September 4th, Labor Day, all the way, or September 9th, whenever it is, all the way till November 25th is when we shut it down here. That's it. All that money can be stored away for vacations, for whatever you want it to be. This has worked for me. And I'm telling you right now, if you'll do a timeline like this, and maybe you're in the Midwest, you might have to extend your timeline a little bit. Maybe you're down south, you got to do it a little bit different. Now, another important date for me is Columbus Day in October. In October, you want all of your aerations done, you want all of your fertilization program done, and you want all of your second trimmings done. The reason for that is because you want to solely concentrate on getting your final cuts done and your leaves done. It's very hard to do. What happens is leaves start falling about October, about late October, leaves start falling. About the third week in October. What happens is you've got leaves, you're taking longer on every property, and all of a sudden you still got aerations to do, you still got a few trimmings to do. You just put it on a timeline. Columbus Day, have all your trimmings done, second trimmings. Have your fertilization. Well, Johnny, what about a winter app? Winter apps are for the birds. Listen, don't let anyone tell you winter apps are important. What nourishes the root system in the winter, Johnny? No, what happens is it makes your lawn grow, because you'll have winters like this where it's warmer, and now your lawn's growing when it should be dormant. So don't let anyone feed you that. It's just an extra app to help sell more business. It's been disproven by the University of Purdue and by different people. Don't put a winter app. It's not good for your lawn. It's good for the person selling it. The winter apps, what happens is in years like this, the theory was it would freeze. By next year, the lawn would come out of dormancy and be hungry and feed. We haven't had great winters here. So what happens is the lawn starts feeding throughout the winter, and what happens? It grows, it freezes, it hurts the plant. Let the lawn go dormant. Take all the food away from it. That's just my thought. Oh, that's a great tip from Johnny Moe. Is that scientific enough for you guys? Now, so Columbus Day, have all your fertilization done, all your trimmings done, and all your aerations done. All you have to do is concentrate on winter stuff, getting your equipment put away, getting your leaves picked up, and final cuttings. Final cut should be about definitely below 3 inches, about 2.5 inches, 2 3/4 inches here in the Northeast. Strip them down, keep them low. So now, the next day is November 25th. Put it all away, get it all done. There's some years where it snows, it rains, and I understand you can't do it, but that's the next day. Anything after November 25th is all bonus. Like all my winter money is all bonus. All of it's, I don't rely on winter at all. Now, here's something you can do is you could take your winter money and make it in case you have a little bit of a drought. Let's say you go through a 3-month drought. Take some of that winter money that you did do, put it into a drought fund, or add it to the equipment that you wanted to buy. Take it, put it away. That's all extra. It's all extra. Vacations, whatever you may be. If you'll follow this timeline that I just laid out for you, by the fourth quarter, the game's won. You've got it set. If you want to take extra measures because you don't know if you're going to have a drought next year, have a 3-month fund drought from the winter money that you just made. Boy, this is Johnny Moe. I tell you what, This is Solo and Proud, episode 3, the timeline. If you'll follow this, you'll have a much, much better business. Great tips in there. See you later, guys.